All right, welcome to your deep dive. Today, we're kind of going global, but with a twist.
Oh, a twist. Okay, I like
Yeah.
twists.
So we're going to be looking at EFK Engineering, and they're a company that's managed to make, some serious waves internationally, all while being based right in South Africa.
Interesting.
Have you ever heard of them?
EFK Engineering. I can't say that I have.
Yeah, they're kind of a fascinating case study, really. So imagine like a company in the Western Cape of South Africa, right?
Okay, I'm picturing it. Western Cape, beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful. But they're competing with like these huge giants in the oil and gas sector, and they're like winning.
Wow, no kidding. Okay, so like what do they actually do?
So they've got their hands in a lot of different services that are like super crucial for the oil and gas industry.
Okay.
We're talking like machining, fabrication, installation. They even handle the welding maintenance and inspection. Yeah, it's like they're a one-stop shop for, keeping those super complicated offshore rigs and pipelines running smoothly.
That's a huge range. It sounds like they've really like cornered this very specific niche market.
Right.
But how did they get the credibility, you know what I mean, in such a high stakes industry like oil and gas?
Yeah, that's a good question.
There's a lot at risk there.
Yeah, you don't want to mess around with those kinds of things.
Exactly.
So, I think like one key thing is that they're really, really committed to meeting all of the international standards.
Okay.
So think like DNV, API, ISO,
Oh, right, right. Those are, yeah.
like the gold
The
seals
gold seals
of
line.
approval
Yeah,
in the field.
yeah.
And it shows that they're not, messing around. They're not cutting any corners, and their work meets the most, rigorous global benchmarks.
Right.
So that's a big deal for their clients, right? Because it means they can totally trust EFK's work. And it doesn't matter where in the world that the client, is operating.
I see. Yeah, because these big international companies, they want to know, they want to be sure that they're getting the absolute best, regardless of, where the work is actually happening.
Exactly. So let's talk a little bit about like the specifics. What kind of work are they actually doing that needs like such a high level of expertise?
Sure, sure. Well, let's start with their machining division. They're pretty well known for repairing and manufacturing these components. They're called exovers and downhole tools.
Okay, so like for people who aren't familiar with those things, what are those?
So think of it this way: you're drilling for oil thousands of feet below the ocean floor,
Yeah.
right? You need specialized tools and connectors that can withstand these insane pressure and keep everything functioning perfectly.
Oh, wow.
That's what EFK is building and fixing.
So their engineering is like directly impacting the safety and the efficiency of these like massive, huge energy projects.
You got it. It's pretty amazing the level of precision involved. And it's not just the machining. Their welding capabilities are also incredibly impressive.
Hmm.
They've got these certified like super highly skilled welder using the latest equipment, and this ensures that every single weld is absolutely perfect.
Yeah, that's important.
Oh yeah, a weak weld in an oil pipeline, I mean that could be catastrophic.
Yeah, definitely don't want that. So it sounds like they've put a lot of resources into, their people, but also into their technology.
They have. It's a smart strategy.
Yeah. I'm curious about their design process too. Are they just like following blueprints, or are they doing something more like innovating?
That's a great question, and that's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
They actually have a whole department, a design department that's outfitted with, cutting edge CAD software, and they use analytical software too. So they're not, just building, they're creating custom solutions for each project. And that's especially important when you think about the fact that they've worked with all these multinational companies all over the world,
Right.
and each one of them has its own, very specific requirements.
It's pretty amazing that they've built this like global reputation all from their base in South Africa.
It is.
What are some of like the unique challenges that you think, being in that business environment, might have kind of shaped their approach?
That's an interesting point. I think often in emerging markets, companies have to be a lot more resourceful and a lot more adaptable.
Hmm?
Limitations in infrastructure or even access to certain technologies, it can actually force you to be more creative,
Well, that's interesting.
and to really excel at problem solving. So this likely pushed EFK to develop a mindset of innovation and resourcefulness from the very beginning.
Wow. So not only are they meeting these like incredible standards. They're doing it while navigating like the complexities of the African business landscape.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of brings us to an interesting question for me. How does a company like EFK, right, starting in South Africa, how do they break into and then thrive in such a demanding global industry?
It's impressive.
It really speaks to their drive, their adaptability, and their total commitment to quality.
EFK Engineering is like it really is a hidden gem. A South African company, but with global reach. They're combining these really specialized skills with international standards and dedication to innovation.
Absolutely.
It's truly inspiring. Their story is a testament to, what's possible when you combine that technical expertise with like a truly resourceful approach to solving problems.
And that leaves all of you with something to think about. What can we learn from EFK Engineering's success? How can their experience, their story, inspire other companies, especially, companies in these challenging environments, to really reach for global excellence?
That's a great question to end on. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us.
Always a pleasure.
And we'll see you next time for another fascinating exploration.
Yeah.